Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now in this video, we've actually got some pretty interesting Jurassic World 3 news to go over. So yesterday, a new interview with Colin Trevorrow went up on Jurassic Outpost. And in this interview, he talked about a great number of things surrounding Fallen Kingdom's release, and what will eventually become of the 6th installment in the Jurassic Park franchise. This interview gives us a lot of insight into what's going on inside of the writer-director's head, and it marks the first point in which we get a sneak peek at what Jurassic World 3 will be like. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Now, the first major thing that Outpost asked Colin in regards to Jurassic World 3 was about the accuracy of the 6th movie's dinosaurs. He's previously stated that Jurassic World 3 will have the most accurate dinosaurs of any JP movie yet, and they wanted him to elaborate on what he meant exactly. His response was this: "We're not looking to alter the dinosaurs from the previous movies. Those are established characters to me. They were made with reptilian DNA bridging the gaps in the genome, and they have their own identity. But now we're headed into a world in which the ability to clone a dinosaur is no longer exclusive to Dr. Henry Wu. That leads to innovation and new opportunities for us to introduce species that represent the full spectrum of our knowledge." Coincidentally, I happened to recently do a video in which I discussed Jack Horner's words on talking to Colin Trevorrow and having a pretty good idea that some feathered dinosaurs may be in the next movie. And one of the things I brought up about that idea was that I personally believe that putting feathers on new dinosaurs would only work if we did it right, and made sure to give them to creatures that we know for a matter of fact did have feathers with no questions asked. Hearing words like this not too long after is pretty good to hear in my opinion. I also like the fact that he says that these could come from newer genetics companies outside of Dr. Wu and InGen, but it also means that we likely won't be getting any feathers on the raptors like I said I wanted in the earlier video. I could be wrong, but it looks like they're steering clear of putting plumage on older dinos, which hey, some people think is a good thing. The quote, "innovation and new opportunities for us to reintroduce species that represent the full spectrum of our knowledge" has me pretty interested. Okay, so next up was the question about dinosaurs attacking big cities. Outpost asked, "Many assume Jurassic World 3 will feature dinosaurs terrorizing cities and suburbs, and fans are often referring to properties like Godzilla and Planet of the Apes. Are these connections a fair assumption, or do you plan to keep the dinosaurs in the wilder, more untamed landscapes?" And this is what Trevorrow had to say in response: "I just have no idea what would motivate dinosaurs to terrorize a city. They can't organize. Right now, we've got lethal predators in wild areas surrounding cities all over the world. They don't go pack hunting for humans in urban areas. The world I get excited about is the one where it's possible that a dinosaur might run out in front of your car on a foggy back road, or invade your campground looking for food. A world where dinosaur interaction is unlikely, but possible. The same way we watch out for bears or sharks. We hunt animals, we traffic them, we herd them, we breed them, we invade their territory, and pay the price. We don't go to war with them. If that was the case, we'd have lost that war a long time ago." And this lines up with a lot of the stuff that he said in interviews in the past. Back in 2015, Colin Trevorrow brought up the idea that he wanted these films to be more than just dinosaurs chasing people on an island. And he went into detail about how it would be a lot like how humans avoid certain parts of the jungle that are inhabited by wild animals like tigers. So this is pretty much just reasserting that old sentiment, and it's not really that much new. A couple of years ago, he was even quoted saying that the line in Jurassic World in which Dr. Wu states that we're not always going to be the only ones who can make a dinosaur was going to be followed up with a lot of the stuff he says in this interview. One of the things that has constantly been in my head ever since I first saw Fallen Kingdom was the idea of dinosaurs out in the wild at a ton of random locations with a very suspenseful atmosphere. The idea of Owen Grady ducking behind areas of his forest cabin whilst a massive pair of Carnotaurus stalk about his lands at night is something that I just can't get out of my head. And I really like the idea of having areas that become kind of forbidden to the general public. Like a group of ceratosaurs invaded the Everglades in Florida, and now we don't really go too deep into the Everglades of Florida. That's the kind of thing I want to see explored in the next film, the effect of reintroducing prehistoric animals in a modern ecosystem. Now that everyone can clone a dinosaur, I want to see dinosaurs everywhere. And finally, the last major point of the interview I wanted to touch upon was this. They asked, "It seems like you're overseeing the greater Jurassic expanded universe both in content and canon. Is that correct? Can you talk a little about what your involvement is like with that?" Yeah, I've been involved since 2015, in collaboration with Steven and Frank. We've been working closely with Universal to build out the world and make sure that kids, and adults, yes, finally, who want to dig deeper have someplace to go. We're really proud of the Mattel and Lego toys, the console and mobile games from Frontier and Ludia, the VR experience from Felix and Paul, who are just brilliant. We just finished a 2-part animated Lego special that will air on NBC this week. All our creative partners have done awesome work. There's a lot of things I can't really talk about. I promise there will be no shortage of new developments in the next few years, but we're being careful not to oversaturate. Some people just want to go see a dinosaur movie every 3 years, and that's fine. Others want dinosaurs all the way down. We're here for them too. So more Jurassic content is indeed on the way, and I like how he said, "and adults." That's one thing that I did kind of make a fuss about when I was talking about the Lego special. I wanted a Michael Crichton sort of experience, either video game, novel, something like that. This is coming from someone that loved Jurassic World, loved Fallen Kingdom. I've read that book. The book to me is the sacred thing. I love Jurassic Park by Spielberg, but the book. I'm loving these new movies, but I love how he said adults. After hearing about Universal's push for Jurassic 365, this shouldn't be too much of a surprise, but it is genuinely good to hear that verbally spoken by him in this interview. Let's get more of that. Please and thank you. And with that being said, I'd like to ask all of you guys what you think about this. What do you think of the promise of more Jurassic content, and what do you think about the concept of dinosaurs everywhere in Jurassic World 3? And what dinosaurs do you think will have feathers in the next installment in the series? Whatever your thoughts and opinions may be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I want to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. It really means the world to me that you guys tell me that you appreciate what I do so much, and I seriously am extremely thankful for everything that you guys do to help. Honestly, it means the world. Now I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and hope that you all enjoy today's content. If you feel like I deserve it, I would appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.